Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Chicago Cubs. This is going to be the July episode, so we'll get through the draft, we'll get through the trade deadline, and we will see where we stand. So right now we are 48 and 30. We were 18 and 8 in April, 13 and 13 in May, and then 17 and 9 in June. Just some of our other particulars were really good in extra inning games, really good in one-run games, which, that's a focus on our bullpen. Just a slightly above average against lefties, really good against righties, seventh batting average, fourth in runs scored, third in runs against, or runs allowed, I guess. Financially, and all this stuff we looked at last episode, so I'm not going to go too deeply into it. Financially, we're in pretty good shape. We got about $7 million available for this year to add to the team. 12.1 next year for extensions. We'll be able to save a bit here. Like, we're probably not going to pay Velasquez $7 million, $8 million if he continues to play like this. Uceta, probably move on from. That'll save us a couple million. So yeah, we'll be able to save a little bit of money. Our payroll's still going to go up, but we should be able to save a little bit of money. So I'm not too terribly concerned about it. One of my commenters suggested that I move Brock Wilken to first base. So I did that, moved him to first base. His potential went from a 30-35 to a 40-45. The bat's coming along. I mean, he's slow going. I mean, he's tearing it up in AA, so I think we'll move him up to AAA now. I don't know that he's ever going to hit enough to be a full-time starter, but if you can get that contact to a 50, all of a sudden that becomes reasonable as a, 6 or 7 place hitter, and that's okay. Yeah. Hoping for a good draft. Our two players from our two top picks from last year still hanging in there. Necker hasn't developed yet, but he also hasn't really dropped at all. His potential's dropped a little bit in September of last season, so that's a little concerning. For some reason, it has him listed as a reliever. And then Boston Kellner, his pitching rate, both his pitching and his offensive ratings dropped a little bit. So, that's not great, but still, these ratings are still quite good if they stay that way. Alan Chu, this one is for my good friend Josh Beer. He is, what year are we in? We're in 20. He hasn't pitched at all this year. The bat's coming along, but he hasn't pitched at all this year. The ratings, that knuckleball is a 35. I think it's time to call him up and just sort of see how he does. I don't know why I have Coy James locked down, but we can enable his promotion. Enable the promotions of all of these really bad draft picks that I've made over the years. Man, that is frustrating to see all those players that were, 2 and 3 star potential, or 3 and 3.5 star potential, that are now down to 1 star or 2 stars. We got a couple of really good minor league international guys, assuming they stay that way. Ramiro Catano was our international guy this past season. Raposo, our scout, found. Good infield range. Cervantes looks okay. It's good. His range is going to make a lot of errors, but good range, good arm. Probably realistically could play him in center or right, especially with that arm. So, I'm just kind of bouncing around here a bit, looking at some stuff, but I think it's time to start simming, and let's get up to the draft. So we have the Dodgers at home. They beat us in game 1. We win here in game 2. Bubba Thompson day-to-day with an injury. Same thing with Enrique Hernandez, we picked up last episode. So we win 4-2, kicking off July. What do we got going on here? 2 hits and an RBI for Cassie, 2 hits and an RBI for PCA. Garcia with 2 hits. Gallen picks up another win. Yeah, our defense struggles with Dansby Swanson out of the lineup, and he's been hurt. I don't say a lot, but enough in the last couple of years where it's a concern, and the bat's not performing this year like it has in the past. I think trade deadline, Outfielder, Velasquez isn't really hitting, so maybe we can use him as part of a deal. We get Acuna back in a month, which will help, but I think maybe outfielder. Sandy Alcantara, excuse me, Sandy Alcantara is a free agent. He's making, is on the trade block, making $17 million. Team option next year for 21. I mean, that's interesting. Benintendi, Santander, Verdugo is still on there. We could always make a run at Doogie, but again, I think that was an empty batting average. Yeah, I mean, 710 OPS, but a 284 batting average. It's not great. Let's get up to the draft. Let's just sim up to the draft, and then we'll kind of see what we see, and we'll make some deals as necessary. Game 3 against LA. 10-4 victory. He's happy with our catcher upgrade. Fan engagement has bottomed out. No, it has not. Yes, some of this stuff is just really dumb. Expiring contract. We need to bring back Nakamura 100%. He is the guy, and so is Rick Jameson. Top 100 prospects. We got Von Necker is number 6 in the top 100. We have the 8th overall system with Necker, Catano, and Cassie. We win the 3rd game of the series, 10-4. So we take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. Chisholm with 3 RBIs, Schmidt with 3 hits. Bubba Thompson, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Garcia, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Bubba hits a 6th. It's Bubba Thompson pickup under the radar. Under the radar, is on pace for about 3 WAR at the league minimum. He's been above average defensively. I'm happy with that pickup. Chris Paddock goes 5, picks up the win. We got Pittsburgh now. We've won 2 out of 3. We won our first 2 here in the month of July, and we lose 4-3 there to the Pirates. Game 2. 5-4 win. All right. PCA, is that a home run? No. 2 RBIs for PCA. Bubba Thompson, 3 for 4 with a run knocked in. Drew Romo with a couple of hits. So went 7. Gave up 1 run. Coleman blew the save, but picks up the win. Chase Dollander for them. Angel Shivili for us. Game 3 of the series. 11-10 in 10 innings. A wild one. We were up 8-3. They were then up 10-8. We scored a run in the 8th, a run in the 9th, a run in the 10th. Bregman goes 0 for 4. Scores 3 runs. Chisholm with 2 hits. Schmidt 3 hits and an RBI. Velasquez with 3 RBIs. Cassie hits his first big league home run. And, maybe long term, I'm glad we didn't trade him. I mean, we'll see how he does, but it's a good start. Bubba Thompson, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Ooh, Mitch White gets hit hard. I think that's the first time this year he's really been hit. He's really been hit hard, but win's a win. They don't ask how, they ask how many. We get Swanson back in a week, Vinicio back in 2-3. So injuries are starting to shut down here. We're starting to get to the end of some of these. There's another win, 8-7. I don't know if Gallen picked up the victory. He didn't. He went 6 1/3. Schmidt blew the save, gets the win. Arrighetti and Coleman, home runs from Bregman and PCA. Bregman 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. Kike's he hasn't played a lot. 8 for 24 with us, though, so the average is there. Game 2 against Colorado. I think it's Sixto Sanchez that we're going against. We lose the middle game, and the 3rd game of the series is a 5-2 win. So it's a 4-game set, it looks like. Cassie with another home run. Cassie with another home run. Yep. Garcia, 3 hits and an RBI. Brash goes 5. Scores 2 runs. Schmidt, Wisniewski, Coleman all pitch well. And the final game of the series, Noah Schultz. the former Chicago White Sox farmhand, finds his way over to Colorado. Looks like he may have been rushed to the majors a little too quickly. We'll see how he does here against the Cubs in Game 4 of this series. So we take 3 out of 4 in Colorado. Thompson, 2 RBIs. So goes 5. Coleman gets the win, blows the save. Wisniewski. Coleman hasn't pitched particularly well. He's only blown 6 saves. It hasn't been awful. ERA is a bit high, but all right. So we take 3 out of 4 in Colorado. You gotta love a good 3 out of 4 on the road, right? So we got San Diego now. Where are the Padres? Padres 38-50. Really can't hit. They have Soto, Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, and they can't hit. And I mean, these are all players that are getting old. I mean, this contract, in real life, us Red Sox fans, we all love Xander Bogaerts, but I think every one of us knew that this contract was going to be a train wreck down the stretch for the Padres. And it's coming to fruition here in fake baseball. Game 1 against the Padres. We lose. Wow, we lost 2-0. All right, let's see what happens in the game on draft day. It's a 3-1 loss. We scored 1 run in 2 games against San Diego. That's not good. Only a 6-game lead over the Reds. We're playing so well, but we can't put the Reds that far in the rearview mirror, and it's really bugging me. All right, so we're picking 20th. Let's just go right to the pick and see what we see. Let's go here first, and that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. All right, so we got Nate Dines, a 22-year-old outfielder. Not really all that developed for a 22-year-old, and I hate that batting profile. Bobby Krantz is not a shortstop. He's probably a second baseman. Hunter Wemp, I mean, he's a really good catcher. That's an option. Mike Bryant, another outfielder whose profile I don't like. I gravitate towards the college players, but Drew Burress, elite defensively. Another 20. See, yeah, that profile with the high gap power and everything else is average. That just, I don't know, just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, and they're all over the place in this draft. I will say that there appears to be a little bit more talent in this draft, which is nice. Yeah, look at all these gap potential hitters. Campbell Smithwick is always somebody I like to take a flyer on. There are a couple options there. We could always go after the really low ceiling, high floor kind of guy. Billy Cook. He looks pretty good. I mean, Prince Killings. His nickname is the King. I mean, there are a lot of good young pitchers in this draft. Who do they think we're going to take? They think we're going to take that catcher. God, I've been burned so many times with young high school pitchers, but look at these two. What's his demand? He wants 9. He wants slot. My only concern here is that he doesn't have a fastball. He wants 7.5. Fastball, sinker, slider, grind. He's a side armor, though. I don't like that. I'm leaning Mike Hawkins. His nickname is Taco. I mean, come on now. OSA doesn't like him quite as much, but 4 potential elite pitches, a ground ball pitcher, high work ethic, high loyalty, high intelligence, low greed. I think that's the pick. I hate drafting a high school pitcher in the first round, but I think that's the pick. I think that's the pick. Ugh. Let's make sure I have the money for it. I think I do, right? What's our draft budget? 10. Yeah, okay, so we can offer him 9. All right. We're going to do it. We're going to draft a high school pitcher in the first round, which is something I absolutely despise doing, but this guy looks too good to pass up. Mike Taco Hawkins, already 6'4", 200 pounds. He's got the good stamina. Doesn't throw overly hard as of yet, but he is only 18. He has the high work ethic. We're going to take a high school pitcher. You guys can chew me up in the comments for sure, but that's what we're going to do. All right. Second pick. What do we have for batters? Bobby Krantz is still there. Yeah, a lot of those players we were looking at before are obviously gone. I'm thinking Drew Burress because of that defense. The bat is passable. He's 21 years old. He doesn't want a lot of money. I think we take Drew Burress here because that 75 defense is just too good to pass up. All right. Next pick. They want us to take Mike Downs, center fielder. I mean, I could see that. Again, he's 18 years old, so who the heck knows what he's actually going to be. We could take Colin Houck. Another one of those high floor, low ceiling kind of guys. They want us to take Mike Downs. The bat's good. He's got good speed. Good enough defensively to play center. All right. We'll take Mike Downs. We'll take the scouting director's recommendation. Let's go back to pitchers. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to sit here and say, you know, that I made a bad decision with that first round pick because those numbers are just so good. We'll see. Tommy Brown's not a starter. Andy Frank looks okay. AJ Fuller, yeah. I mean, this changeup for Fuller probably never develops, right? That's just sort of the way it goes, since it's a 20. I don't know. Let's look at all players. Jake Watkin, 70. Okay, so I suppose he could play first base, but I mean, how can you pass that up in the 4th round or whatever we're in? Especially if we're wrong and OSA is right. We'll take the 6'6", 200-pound Jake Watkin here in the 4th round. Yeah, this is a much better draft. Much better draft. And I think we're going to end up taking looks like we're going to take a lot of high school students, high school players in this draft. So we're going to take Jorge. Nope, not at $4.2 million. We're not. Can't afford that. Max Arzu. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the bat's ever going to be good enough, but he can field. It's a possibility, so we'll plop him in there for now. Jaquan Bowdry. Low work ethic. I mean, if you didn't have the low work ethic, I would take a shot there. Fastball, slider, ground ball pitcher. If Jacko is there with our next pick, I might go back in and take a look at him. Because I think we're at a spot where there aren't any, 100. Let's go back and look. We're going to take Arzu. We'll take Arzu in this pick, and then we'll see if Jacko is still there. So we'll take Jacko. Let's start looking at individual pitch potential. Ooh, we got a knuckleballer. Sasser Aberg. Sasser Aberg. This pick is for you, Josh, and it's probably super early to be taking Sasser Aberg, but we're going to take him. Goes to Thomas College up in Maine. Good for him. Any other knuckleballers? Another one. Andy Hagel. Are we going to go back-to-back knucklers? I think we are. Look at that knuckleball. We're going to go back-to-back knuckleballers here in this draft. See, I do things for you guys, and I know that I have one viewer in particular who will like those picks tremendously. So, Sean Klein only has 2 pitches. Jim Coombe, high work ethic. And he's high work ethic. He's 2 of his. If I'm going to take a player like this, I want 2 of his 3 ratings to be decent, and then the third one be bad, because that's kind of how you potentially get that, the TCR really kicking in. Keith Andrews is 21. And not much less left there. Let's look at fielding ratings. 4 batters, not. Jim Butler can't hit. He can't hit. He can't hit. Just need one of them to have a passable bat. Nope. Doesn't look like we're taking a catcher in this draft. Infield range, Danny McCracken. 21-year-old out of App State. That works for me. Juan Castillo. Great defensively, but really low work ethic. Billy Gatone, AK-77 is his nickname, and he can't hit. Yaski can't hit. Ladner can't hit. Meh. There you go, Jeremy Shaper. It's extremely hard, so I'm going to probably avoid that for now. Low work ethic. Grant, low work ethic. Ismael Acevedo, low work ethic. Andy Eller, low work ethic, but at least he's got the ratings that maybe can supersede that low work ethic. So we'll see how that goes. What round are we? We're in the 11th. Steve Guy, he's extremely hard. We'll sign him. 65 power. I mean, who knows what that can bring. There's not much left. Not much left. We are going to let the game finish on its own. Yes, so we'll see. We will see. So he wants 9. So let's see. Do we have? I think we'll be okay. Yeah, let's meet the demand. Sign Burris. Sign Downs. Sign Watkin. Sign Jaco. And sign Arzu. All right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I mean, I feel like you got to take the shot every once in a while, right? And if he does develop, he's an ace. OSA isn't that much further off. I like the Burris pick in the second round. He's probably not that far away, and to have him and potentially PCA in the same outfield together, that would be fantastic. Mike Downs, again, a bit of a shot in the dark with the 18-year-old, but, he's a ways away, but has a potential decent bat. Watkin, Again, another one of those guys who, maybe a ways away, but OSA absolutely loves him. Our scout is really high on him, but 65 home run and power, iron discipline, and avoid K. The gap power is not great, but this is a 300 hitter with, 30 or 35 home runs if he develops that way. Arzu, grabbed him because of his defense and his speed, and then Jacko. It's going to require some TCR here, especially with that control, but everything else good. Above plus that plus stuff, plus movement, 3++ pitches, 70 stamina. He's great at holding runners on. He's a ground ball pitcher. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So there is the draft. We've lost 2 in a row here against San Diego to kick this thing off. All right, let's see how the final game of the series goes. The final game before the All-Star break. Hopefully we can take 1 out of 3 in San Diego. No, we get swept. Get swept by the Padres going into the All-Star break. That's not fantastic. All-Star game. What did we have? We didn't have it. Well, yep. Hyung Jun So makes the All-Star team. Good for him. Only one pitcher. Really interesting. What about offensively? Chisholm made it. And Acuna. All right, so we had 3 All-Stars. On the prospect game, Necker is there. That's it. Okay. Oh, poor Brendan McKay. Career ender. Let's sim up to our next game against Arizona. So we're 6 up on the Reds. 55-35. Dansby Swanson eligible to come off the DL. That is good news. Who goes to the minor leagues now that he is ready to come back? I don't know. Who goes back to the minors? Foscu's Rule 5 guy, so we can't send him down. I think it's Garcia. Like, that's how bad he's been. And then we use Kike to back every position up. Yeah. I think that's the play. Injured list. Dansby. Him back in the lineup at shortstop. And Dansby back in the lineup at shortstop. What are we missing here? Second base. Yeah, Kike can play second base against lefties. I'm good with that. There. Kike every second game and left. Yeah, I guess. All right, so now that we're through, well, we're not through the All-Star. Let's get to our next game. Offensively, we just scored 4 runs in 3 games in San Diego. Am I out of coffee? Almost. All right. So, offensively is where we know we get Acuna back in 3 weeks, so that fixes. I mean, potentially we can slide Cassie to left or whatever. I mean, assuming we can't make a deal, but has anybody signed yet? Only our 5th round pick. All right, that's fine. Trade block. Offensively, we go with Yandy Diaz. Make Yandy our DH. Put him up at the top of the order. I feel like I'm repeating a lot of what we're doing over on our White Sox playthrough, but Diaz isn't a bad pickup. I mean, he's not playing particularly well this year. I mean, if we picked up Diaz, he would just be our DH, right? We would just stick him at DH and maybe bat him second, move Chisholm more into an RBI. type role, like bat him fifth. Still leaves us with what we do with Nelson Vasquez, who's not hitting this year. Is anybody interested in Nelson Vasquez? Like, what if we just go batter for batter? There's some interest. I don't know how much of it is any good, but there's some interest. I can give Verdugo for him straight up. I don't think that helps us, though. Shea Langley, Estuary, Ruiz. But again, I don't really... I mean, he doesn't give us what we need. What we need is the offense, and he's great defensively, and he's got some speed, but... Mares, he was a big name for us in our Diamondbacks playthrough last season. Yeah, not really anything there. That doesn't mean we can't use him as part of a deal, but if you look at the trade block, there just aren't any names here that are, knocking your socks off, so to speak. I mean, Benny's hitting okay. He's truly got those really bad splits. Christian Walker is having an okay season, and he's good defensively. Maybe a Christian Walker pickup. I mean, they would have to retain. If you submit that, they probably laugh in our face. Well, we don't want that. RJ, he's hurt, out for 3 weeks. He's coming along, though. He is coming along. In fact, it's time to move him up to AA. This is a backup fourth outfielder, a fourth outfielder with those ratings. So sooner rather than later, he's gonna be in the big show. We'd look like idiots if we accepted this offer. All right, so you really like him. What about Wilmer Mora? This would be a major win for us. Let's see if that interests San Francisco at all. All right, so we got Arizona at home for 3. We're currently in a 3-game losing streak. We win there. All right, so we're almost there, so that's good. And it looks like the names that are on there mean we can close this down. Bregman, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Velazquez goes 2 for 3. Romo, Brash picks up the win. So is this a deal we want? I mean, in reality, is this a deal that we want? Getting Christian Walker. He is very popular. He's already got 20 home runs on the season. He's put up an 869 OPS. I mean, those are probably career years for him, but doesn't have terrible splits. But if we pick him up, because Bregman has been playing a fine first base. First base isn't really a position of need, so to speak. But can Walker play the outfield? No. I mean, he's got the bat. He's got the bat we're looking for. I mean, I guess we just make him a DH, right? We can just make him a DH. I mean, 3 players we don't really care about for a player who can help us right now. And then maybe we turn around and try to trade Velazquez for a cheaper option. Let's go ahead and make this deal. So we get a fan interest bump from picking up Christian Walker. I think literally he just replaces him in the lineup. Cassie will go to left. I mean, he's not a, elite offensive player, but he definitely helps our lineup. Is he better defensively than 55-55, 50-35? No, it's fine. So make him the DH. then does Berry go into? I mean, Berry's really bad in left. I mean, I think that's the option until Kike's bad against lefties. Yeah, Kike should be batting third against lefties, not Berry. I don't think we're done yet. I mean, Berry's got the bat, but he's not very good defensively. I'd rather have him DHing. But Walker can't play left field either. I am recording, right? I am, yes. All right, let's look here. Let's look at the box score. Bregman 2 hits. We already looked at this. All right, we already looked at this. Pitching, we don't need anything. We are fine. As long as everybody stays healthy, we are fine from a pitching perspective. We get Vinicio back in 5 days, so that'll be the addition to the bullpen. We get Acuna back in 3 weeks. So, I mean, I don't know that because, Cassie will be that fourth outfielder once we get Acuna back. So I don't know that there needs to be another deal. But we'll sim ahead, another week or so and see what we see. So we lose there to Arizona. It's 4 out of 5 we've lost now. Make it 5 out of 6 as we take on Detroit. There's a 5-3 win. Was that Gallen on the mound? It was. Zach, 7 innings of 2-run ball. We got a home run from Chisholm. Walker's still looking for his first hit. No, he's only played 1 game with us. All right, Casey Mize for them, and it looks like Paddock for us. There's another loss, and we lose Casey Schmidt for 4 weeks. That was a really bad day for us. We're 9-8 this month. That was a really, really bad day for us. We lose an extra innings and we lose Casey Schmidt. Garcia can come up for now. Who plays third base? And I guess it's Bregman, right? Bregman goes to third. Walker goes to first. Bregman goes to third. Walker goes to first, which means we need a designated hitter. So against righties, go Berry as the DH against righties, and then we go Cassie. I got that backwards. Cassie's already out there, right? Foscue, I guess. I mean, he can hit well enough, especially against lefties. That's fine. Now we need another bat. Now I need a bat to hit against righties, so a lefty bat would be nice. Benny's making way too much. Verdugo, I think, is making way too much. Yeah, I mean, they would have to retain it all. Are they willing to do that? I mean, if they're willing to retain it all, Oh, they're not even paying him anything. Trent Jones and Yuri Lubo. See how that goes. Oops, I didn't mean to finish the day, but I clicked finish day. All right. So they want a really good play. They want, hey, RJ shows up in the trade block for the first time. I'm not going to give you RJ, so we can discuss some. You want Mason McGuire? 6'3", 200 pounds. I'm not ready to give up on him yet. I will give you Christian Moore. And I'll even throw in another piece here if I can find another. My phone keeps beeping. Jason Santana. All right, let's submit that. All right, we need a win today. This has been a rough. Wait a second. Oops, I didn't put a third baseman in, and I clicked. We won. So, not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Who played third? Oh, Bregman played third, right. PCA 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. Hernandez has a couple of hits. Brash 5 shutout innings. All right, and Vicinio is back. Oh, right, I didn't put in a DH because I was waiting for the answer from I was waiting for the answer from Baltimore. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm looking for Garcia. That's what I'm doing. Center backup in center field will be Kike. Yeah, RJ Mayer's probably with the team next year. In reality, almost. And so adding all that crap didn't really change the. Didn't really change things at all. So I think we need to maybe, I don't want to say rethink it, but maybe add in a player that is a little bit better. Scarlin LeBron. That's a name. That's a name. They can have him. Let's see if we get an answer. Oh, right. Vicinio. I got to call him. Right. Pitching. Ben. Ooh, Shivili's been bad lately. Oof. 8 runs in 2/3 of an inning in his last start. I guess he hasn't been bad lately. He was bad in that start. Brown's been better since we made him a reliever. Yeah, 1 run in 10 innings. The issue is that if we send Shivili down, then Brown goes back into the bullpen. And we send Brown down. All right, so we get Esmeralyn Vinicio back. He wasn't great when he was up before, but I mean, he doesn't really have any splits. He just looks like a really good middle reliever, a really good pitcher. So we'll go specialist in middle relief for him. We'll make him a long reliever along with Mitch White. So they'll take this deal if we give them, yeah, we're at a point now where we've got some players I'm willing to give up. You want Will Frisch? Sure. All right. We pick up Alex Verdugo to give us another bat. The active roster's full. We have a lot of outfielders. How's Cassie doing? 217. Cassie's going back down in the minors. And we will call up Doogie. And we will stick Doogie in the lineup. And he will play. I mean, he could probably play right with that arm. Bubba Thompson is just as good, though. So, yeah, that makes our defense, our outfield defense, really good. Verdugo in left, 55, 55, 70. Crow Armstrong in center, 75, 75, 60. And then Bubba Thompson in right, 65s down the board. And we're really, really good defensively. Kike can back up and right as well. Let's just do this. Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right. So hopefully no more injuries, because those, I mean, that's our 3 and our 4 hitter right there, right? That is our number 3 and our number 4 hitter. And I think, yeah, we'll just keep the lineup the way it is. I want to go lefty, righty, lefty. Yeah, so we pick up Christian Walker. We pick up Alex Verdugo at the deadline. Yeah, we get Acuna back. Yeah, it's just, you lose your 3 and your 4 hitter. You can't expect things to just continue to be great, but we'll see how it goes here over the final week. 6-0 loss. Not good. Our lead down to 4.5 over the Reds. All right, we pick up a 3-1 victory there. Bregman 3 hits, Chisholm 2 hits. PCA 2 for 4. Verdugo goes 3 for 5 with an RBI. Shivili bounces back nicely. I'd like to get on a bit of a stretch here in the final 5 games. See if we can win, go 3-2, 4-1. We lose there, though. Lead back down to 4.5. Dodgers 220. The offense not really performing. Walker hitting .087 in his time with us. That's 2 for 23. Does pick up his first home run as a member of the Cubs. Paddock, 7 innings of 1-run ball. Brash on the bump today against Bobby Miller. There's another loss. We're 12-11 this month. It'd be nice to win this game and finish over 500 for the month. Nope. We finish 12-12 here in the month of July. So it's weird. Yeah, really good in April, really good in June, but May and July, we are a 500 team, and our lead is down to 4.5 over the Reds. We do get Acuna back in a week, Schmidt back in 3 weeks. Hopefully that helps our offense. Trade proposal, they want to send us Chasen Shreve. Nope, I have no interest in doing that. We did have these guys all sign. So everybody who's over a 50, let's go ahead and disable the AI promotion. Burris being 21 will start in A-ball. The other guys will just start right where they are. So we'll see. We will see. All right, so it's the 30th. We don't have a game on the... Oh, we do have a game on the 31st. So we still have the ability to finish over 500 for the month if we can win here. Any other moves we want to make? I don't think so. I feel like the other deadline acquisitions are going to be Acuna and Schmidt. Can we... wouldn't hate getting the money for Velazquez off the books so we don't have to look at it, because it'll be kind of eating into what we can do next season. Velazquez, Castellanos, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of, Oslevis Basabe. He doesn't look terrible. Garcia's also been bad. What if we do something like this? Change things? Does that get us any other decent options? Zach Veen, wow. Never made it out of the minors in this world. That's why I love Out of the Park, man. You just never know what's gonna happen. I find that so cool. I mean, Basabe. If we can move Velazquez, that'll give us more money for wow, okay. It'll give us more money for extensions. Guy Rosario, don't really need another bat. Don't need a reliever necessarily. I'm not crazy about dealing with a division rival, but that was the best deal. Yeah, let's talk to him here. Let's just see if we can do that straight up. Let's start trade line. Received a reply. Close to all right. All right, so they do want Garcia. If we're going to give up Garcia, wow, Fujiyama looks really good in this. It's a shame he's a tool bag, but like that looks really good. Shoemake's better defensively. That might be a better fit for us. Okay, we can make this happen. Sheldon Reed is a reliever, 29-year-old. Yep. All right. So we're gonna send Nelson Velasquez, Rayvaj Garcia, and Sheldon Reed to a division rival to the Atlanta Braves in exchange for Efren Contreras, who, I mean, he looks really good. Shintaro Fujinama, who's a bit of a tool, but if we need help down the stretch, we've got it. And then Braden Shoemake, who will just take Garcia's spot in the lineup as a defensive replacement. So let's go ahead and make that deal. They appreciate the leadership of Braden Shoemake. So let's put them both on the 40-man. Put Shoemake there. Contreras there as a starter. Yeah, we've got starting pitching depth now, which is good. Maybe Shivili continues to, maybe he continues to do this rather than this. We've got a couple of in-house replacements. So I am good there. Let's go ahead and sim through the deadline, see if we can win this last game of the month, finish over 500. Always like to end on a positive note. Let's see if we can end on a positive note here and be 61-42 going into August. I was thinking about it. I have it set to save every month, so if I crash, I only lose a month rather than 6 months or a year. And we do. We win 3-2, finishing up the month. So that is a positive end to our month. Walker has 2 hits, so starting to come around a little bit. Average up to 229. So it's starting to come around a bit. Bubba Thompson, it's his 10th home run of the year, giving us some pop. Didn't expect that. But yeah, I said if we could get somewhere in between these two numbers, I would be happy. And he's on pace to give us 16 home runs and 36 stolen bases. So good deal for us. Shivili goes 4 1/3. Let's look at player development. Nunez gets better. Abreu's movement drops. Palencia, Leaper, Espinoza, Efren Contreras. Yeah, we just picked him up, but and Cassie gets better. That's good. Chase Watkins. Okay, I see you, Chase. I see you. Let's keep that improvement. Nick Birdie. Alan Chu getting better. Still not pitching. He needs to pitch. RJ Mayer, the contact potential drops. Not good. Burris gets better. I want to do something real quick. Because it probably didn't have him starting. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we saw a lot of positives here, it looks like. Jaco gets worse. Watkin gets worse. Yeah, I wasn't sure about all these, but I don't know. I mean, we've got the money invested into scouting and development, right? We've got how much? 24 into our player development and 20 into scouting. That needs to go up this offseason, I think. You can see we have a little bit more money now that we've moved on from Velasquez. Our budget, our payroll goes up to 153 million next year. I think Mitch White probably gets cut. That'll save us 3 million. Thompson, Shoemake, we probably move on from. We'll see. Casey Schmidt will get a big bump. Romo gets a big bump. Nunez, Mason Miller is in AAA. He probably gets DFA'd or non-tendered rather. Ben Brown, we'll keep him around. Jacob Berry, I don't know. I think we might try to trade him. I'm hoping maybe that contact power and potential will trick some of the other teams. Arrigetti's due for a big bump. Shivili's due for a bump. Wisniewski's due for a bump. Schmidt, Brash is due for a big bump. So yeah, we have some decisions to make, but I'm not too terribly worried about it right now. Offensively, obviously we have our two best offensive players on the bench or on the injured list right now. But Pete Crow Armstrong, 2.6 WAR, he's on pace for a 4-win season. That offense up a tick this year compared to last year. Just talked about Bubba Thompson. Chisholm continues to play well for us, putting up an 800 OPS. Kike hitting 300. Hitting 300, 338, 452 with us this year. So that was a nice in-season acquisition. Bregman, not a lot of power, but that average is climbing. That on-base percentage now up to 350, which I like. 766 OPS. Not elite, but, if you can give us 2.5 WAR, 83 walks, 90 runs scored, a 350 on-base percentage, I'll take that. Romo can't hit, but he can field. We may need to find a catcher that can hit next year to go along with him. Verdugo's 250 with us so far. Swanson, the bat's not there this year. He's finally starting to drop off, but a 67 OPS plus a 602 OPS, and he's still been worth positive WAR because he's so good in the field. Pitching wise, we have the best pitching staff in the league, I think, don't we? No, we don't. That's surprising. 6th in starters ERAs. 3rd in bullpen ERA, 1st in WAR, 2nd in FIP. So, I mean, it's been really good. So, the 24-year-old kind of hit that development uptick this year. So, you got that movement up to a 70, the controls up to a 60. He's due for a bump, not next year, but the year after. Matt Brash is having another good season. Paddock, good signing. I'm happy with it. He's not making a ton of money. 8, 9, 10, and 11. But 65 movement, 75 control. I'll take it, especially when we don't have a lot of money invested into our pitching staff. Shivili's been fine. 2.81 FIP and a 5.11 ERA. So, and it's 363 BABIP. So you have to think those numbers will come down here a bit. Gallen having another nice season now that he's back from injury. He's on pace for 2.6 WAR and 17 starts. And then our bullpen's been great. Abreu, Schmidt, Arrighetti, Nunez, White, Wisniewski. Vicinio has been better since coming back, and Coleman has really been our only anchor here so far. So, we might move things around here a bit and take Coleman out of the closer role if he continues to struggle. But that will be something I do offline. So that's going to do it, guys. Next episode will be hopefully another postseason for the Cubs. I'll come back a couple of weeks before the season ends, and we'll sim those games together, and then we'll do our off season. You remember last year we were 1 win away from the World Series. We lost in Game 7, so hope for more of the same this year, at least in terms of making the postseason, and then we'll see what happens there. So, guys, as always, I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all soon.